Now, I really want this to be quicker than the Civic Type R. We're done 20 to 70 mile an hour in 5 point. So in a recent video, I bought this Hyundai I30N. It's actually a Cat S salvage car. It's stage 1 tuned as well. It's a proper cool car, and I thought I need to wake up tomorrow, go to work, and I need to do my first drive. Is it a first drive video? Oh, we can call it the first drive. First drive on YouTube of my latest purchase, which is probably my favourite purchase of the week as well. This Hyundai I30N. So obviously I'm a car dealer, right? So I'm constantly on the hunt for stock, always looking for cars. If you want to sell a car, reach out to us. I'll link everything in the description below. Not just for stock that I look for cars for, I also look for stock for, for cars for my platform, Planet of Dreams, which is a giveaway platform that basically all of the revenue that's generated from Planet of Dreams and from my channel, we put it all together, and we buy cars and all sorts of other stuff like PlayStations and consoles and various other stuff on the website, and it gives me content, and it gives my subscribers a chance to win stuff for as little as nothing, yeah? When I'm looking for a car for Planet of Dreams, I'm kind of looking for stuff that's modern, yeah? Something that's versatile, something that's sporty preferably, something that's good for content as well, that's a bit of a priority. And when I got offered this Hyundai i30N, I saw the pictures of it, I thought, you know what, that looks proper cool, that's cool. And I've always heard about these cars, I've heard a lot about them, don't know loads about them, I'll be honest with you, haven't done no research on them whatsoever. But when I saw it, I thought, I like that car. I love the colour, it's performance blue, by the way. I would say it's my personal favourite colour choice of all the colours they do on the i30N. When I received the first message about this car, I saw that it was Cat S, and I thought, Cat S, probably not ideal as a bit of stock, but it could make a good Planet of Dreams car. Generally, we spend sort of in the region of 10 to 15 grand on Planet of Dreams cars, sometimes more. And this car, if you want to buy one of these, a non-categorised car, you're going to pay at least £20,000 for one. So I've never considered buying one of these for Planet of Dreams, right? But it is a car that I've always wanted on my channel. So I said to the customer, look, how much do you want for it? He said I want £12,000 for it. If you didn't see the video, I've done a whole video of me buying this car, and we agreed it at 11.5 grand, because if you look in the back of this car, so we knew it was Cat S. You can see there's a bit of a colour difference on the rear bumper there. And if we open the boot won't close properly, by the way, if you're wondering what that horrible panel gap was. That's my phone going again. Today's been, yeah, it's been a mental day. 1 second. Kai, I'm just filming the video.
Sorry.
Yeah. Is it really important? Like, really? Yeah? Okay, that's good. We're talking about the boot. Yeah, we opened up the boot in that video, that's what I was talking about. The panel gaps are all good. You can see the boot lids had a bit of paint. You can see the bumpers had a bit of paint. It's a categorised car. I'm not going to knock a car that's had paint that should have had paint, yeah? You'd be an idiot to do that. By the way, shout out to the valeters at Bincar. They've just cleaned this car for me. They've just organised all my stuff in the back nicely. Because I drove this car home last night and I went gymming it this morning, and as I was driving it, I thought, I definitely need to do a video on this car. I really like it. I think sometimes in life, you have an expectation for things. I say this a lot in videos, and sometimes you have a low expectation, which I did when I picked this car up, when I bought it yesterday. And when I drove it, it just over-exceeded my expectations massively. And I like it when that happens. When you drive like a German car, an M car, which we're going to talk about M cars shortly, you kind of expect they're going to be good, and they are bloody good. But it's kind of just comes as expected, so it's not too exciting, although it is. That's a bad analogy, you know what I mean. It's better than expected anyway, but let's get the old gym bag out, get the water out, just in case some of you might have missed that video recently. Yeah, in the boot. Check this out. Can you see that? I'll probably put a better slider of it on the screen now, but you can see that the boot floor is just crumbled. Yeah, it's crumbled. It ain't horrendous, but it ain't acceptable. It's just completely unacceptable. So I've got to get that fixed before I give this car away, okay? By the way, if you want to be in for a chance of winning this car, Planet of Dreams is in the link. The link to Planet of Dreams, sorry, is in the description below. Just shut my gym bag in there. Go and enter for free. It's free to enter, or you can play the game, win more chances to enter for free, or if you want, you can hit boost, pay, and sign up as a dream catcher. You lot know the deal. go and check it out, all right? So I looked at that and I thought, it's a little bit disappointing, but it can be repaired. And when the hell am I ever gonna get a chance to buy a Hyundai i30N for Planet of Dreams for anywhere near to £11,500 again? It's not gonna happen. So I thought, I've got to buy it. And all in all, it's a really nice car. I took it for a drive, it drives really well. There's actually nothing wrong with the way it drives. It's not been in the front end, which is nice. So the whole front end it's just had that hit on the rear end, which, like I say, the external of it's been repaired. It's just that the boot floor that needs doing. So I'm gonna get it repaired before I can give it away, all right? So interior-wise, let's talk about that. We haven't talked about the exterior yet, have we? Let's shut that door. Before we talk about the interior, let's talk about the exterior. Visually, I think it looks bloody good, doesn't it? It's a really cool looking car. It's got some nice features as well. It's got the LED strip lights in the bottom there. It's got some red features as well, which I think look really good. I wouldn't probably put that colour and that colour together, but they do look really well. They seem to work really well together. The red brake calipers, diamond cut wheels, which have recently been refurbed, by the way. The brakes have also been replaced as well recently. It's got Michelin PS4S, are they PS4S? PS5 tyres all round as well, which is nice. Hashtag on it stickers in the rear, because why not? Hashtag on it. It's got the little dream sticker in the rear as well, representing Planet of Dreams. As we come around to the back, the rear bumper, again, it's quite an aggressive looking car, and it's got a little red touch on the rear diffuser there as well. Two exhausts out the back, which sound unbelievable. We're going to talk about them shortly. And as mentioned, this car is a stage 1 tuned car. It's running at 305 brake horsepower. From factory, they're 275 horsepower. So a little bit more power over the usual one, but trust me, it's a quick car. And I think a car worth comparing this to is a car that I've done a video on recently. Is a Honda Civic FK2 Type R. And I've done Draggy times on that car as well. In fact, let's pull it up on my phone now. That car done 20 to 70 mile an hour in 5.82 seconds. That's also a manual gearbox car, and from factory, pretty sure they're about the same sort of power as this is now. Okay, so this with a stage 1 map is about the same power as an FK2 Type R. I love it. I love a Civic Type R, and outside of the German hatches, I would say Honda's probably my favourite brand after all the German ones. But like I said earlier, Hyundai is just never a brand I'd consider, so I think it's a great car to put it up against. Interior-wise, have we done with the exterior? Yeah, I'm quite happy with how it all looks. Quite happy with what I've explained there. Little black touches as well, like that. It looks quite good, doesn't it? A few little design features. By the way, I mentioned earlier we was going to talk about BMW M. Apparently, I don't know the full story, but I went to see one of my brothers last night, Curtis, and he was like, "How? You do know that someone from BMW, the M side, the M division, had something to do with the design of the Hyundai i30N? Yeah, BMW M i30N, which is probably where they got the idea of N from. In fact, I googled that, and it's supposedly something to do with the Nürburgring. But as you look around this car, there are some little sort of features that you think, oh, I know where you got that idea from. You got that from BMW, which kind of explains the theory behind them having involvement with BMW. Features like the following. This seat here, I was sat in this morning, I was just chilling here on the phone this morning, yeah? And I was playing with the seat, and I thought, do you know what? What other car actually does that? Excuse the little mark there, by the way. A bit of water where the balance, just giving it a clean, give that a little scrub. What other car does that? A BMW does that. Other features are like the N, the cheeky little N, it's just kind of like an M. It's got the N on the mats there, which I like the N, I like that branding, I think it looks really good. Also, what else did I notice? As you come in here, if we start the engine, by the way, it sounds so good. Start stop button, I can't really say that's like a BMW because a lot of cars have that. But when we start the engine, could pass as a bloody M140i the way it sounds. Honestly, it sounds so good. But the little temperature lights there, again, so much like a BMW. Also, you've got these buttons on the steering wheel here. Hear that? Hear the change in sound? So if I, oh wait, this is the bit that I'm a bit lost about what to do. So we've got normal, there we go, normal. It's chilling, and then press that. Hear that now? Really subtle change in engine tone, but you'll see how that changes the sound when you're driving as well. So also up here, you've got the N mode there. Press that. You've got custom N mode. You can adjust it all exactly like you can do in a BMW, and in fact, it's got Sport and Sport Plus. Again, identical to a BMW. It's got automatic rev matching. Again, BMWs have got that. I remember my BMW M2 that had rev matching. I don't actually like that feature, so I've got that currently switched off. The LSD, which is amazing. Too many manufacturers of sports hatches pass on putting LSDs on their cars, and I think it's great that they've done that with this car. The exhaust sound, again, you've got Sport and Sport Plus. I've got it on Sport Plus because it just sounds so cool. And then chassis, you've got suspension, steering. I do want to talk about the steering because it is really sort of, it's firm, it's strong, and it feels exactly like it does on a BMW. So suspension, you've got the option to go Sport and Sport Plus. I've got it on normal, which is kind of like comfort on a BMW. And then here, so you've got Sport, normal, and off. I've got it in Sport there. But you can see so many little similarities. I know it ain't quite German, but you can see little bits of character that have clearly been inspired by BMW's M brand. So anything else I want to report? I don't think so. I think we need to go for a drive. We want to see how it compares to the Honda Civic Type R. Also just see how it falls on the Draggy leaderboard. I feel like I'm missing something. I was going to say, when I initially drove it, I clicked that button there, assuming that that would just put me in the all-nutter sports mode, which it does. There you go, there's the N logo there on the dash. It's just disappeared just as the camera focuses. And then you press it a second time, it puts you onto the custom mode. But I don't know why, that just kind of confused me, that display. To try and get it back from there to comfort, I think, do you do that? Ah, that's what you do. Yeah, I'm kind of getting the gist of it now. So you know what, forget about all that, let's hit the road. This is it. We're all right at our little route now. Turning left off the round. I see the boost there. Do you see that boost? Obviously LSD, do you hear the crackles there as well? LSD is just tugging the road, man. You can just feel it pulling, grabbing the road. It feels so bloody good. This lorry's turning right into our old site, which is perfect. Get him out of the way. I'm gonna drop to first. Casually down, casually down. Just drives so good, this car. Look, first gear. Got shift lights on the dash as well. Obviously you can't see them right now. We'll try and get a shot of them to show you, but they're a really cool feature as well. Steering, how can I explain the steering? It's just really firm and really on point, which you kind of wouldn't expect for, that sounds like a bloody criticism, bit of criticism. You wouldn't expect it for a Hyundai, you wouldn't. And last time I drove a car like this, it exceeded my expectation to this level. Was to hear the crackles, man. It was the Kia Stinger GTS. Look how firm but comfortable this ride is. It's not too horrible. It's firm but erratic, but not erratic. But you know what I mean? It's just perfect. I'm rev matching myself as I drop the gears, but you have got a button on the steering wheel which you can turn it on, which you can't actually do in comfort mode. Currently turning right, by the way, into the bumpy roads. Low end pull. Obviously it's been mapped, yeah. So you're going to get a little bit more low end torque. By the way, bumpy road, look, it's just coping with it brilliantly. You're going to get a little bit more low end torque on a car that's been stage 1 mapped, of course, but it is just spot on. I love a stage 1 map, and the fact that it's crackling like that for a car that usually with most cars, if you want crackles like that, you've got to decat the car. But this car, stock cat, bit of software, and it's sounding like that. It's almost like artificial, but not in a, that sounds bad as well. They're kind of automated. They're so perfect. They feel like they're automated, like they're not real, but they are real, and they just sound good. They just sound really good. First thing I noticed when I drove it is the perfect crackles that it makes out the back. So I'm currently in custom mode, as I just mentioned. You can flick it back to N mode, but look, I've just done that now. And it might be obvious through the camera how much difference it makes the suspension. Can you see that? Like I'm not going to exaggerate it, but I could do that Top Gear style, but it's firm. It's really, really firm, which on roads, especially like the roads that I'm driving on at the minute, it ain't no good. And now I've learned that, yeah, you press the left button there, and that brings it back to normal mode, and you can feel it's just completely calmed the car down, which I like. I like having that drastic change between driver modes. If you want to chill and drive and have a low, subtle, calm mode, you can do that. And then you've got the big flag button on the right of the steering wheel there, which again is kind of like an M button on a steering wheel, and it just brings the car to life. It's a completely different mode of driving, more noise, more throttle response, different suspension feeling, different steering feel, obviously depending on how you got it set up, but it just, all in all, it's just an incredible car, man. I am so impressed with this car. I think what we need to do now, do you know what? Before we do Draggy times, I've not even talked about spec that this car's got as well. How have I not talked about spec? So it's got, there's so much I want to talk. It's got, let's get out of here first. Someone's bipping at me. Oh, it's Calvin, it's Calvin. What's he doing in a car that ain't German? Look at that. The spec that it's got heated seats, it's got heated steering wheel. What else did I notice? Cruise control. It's got a reverse camera, DAB, sat nav, all that sort of stuff. What else did I notice? Two 12-volt sockets there with the USB and the aux down there as well. Lane assist by the looks of things, some kind of lane button there. All these extra stuff you don't really use, you just care about how fast it is, but it has got some really nice specs which I am quite impressed about. Also the sports seats, which are unique to the i30N, I really like them as well. Mixture of sort of suede and a bit of leather there. Is that blue stitching? That is blue stitching, man. There's blue and there's grey stitching, so you've got a bit of a mixture of materials, a mixture of colours. It's all very good. And also what I was going to say is that I really do like the functions on the steering wheel. The buttons are quite crisp and classy, and it's got lots of buttons, including the rev matching button, which I will demonstrate now. Let's just go up to fourth. So I'm in fourth now. Is that, oh, I can't do it. Let's do that again. In fourth now, in N mode, rev on, rev match on even. Hear it downshift. It's doing that for me. Let's just do Draggy times, yeah? I think the Civic Type R done it in 5.82, is that right? If that's not right, I'll put the correct time on the screen. Let's now see how quickly the Hyundai does it. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go on! Wheel spin. Come on! Now, I really, really want this to be quicker than the Civic Type R, but I just feel like it's just not going to be. Because when I drove that Civic Type R, that was proper quick. But I am so impressed with this car that I've got confidence in it. So let's quick look down at what run number 1 was. 6.15 seconds. Let's do 2 more runs off cam. I'll come back to you shortly and let you know what the quickest run of the 3 was. But that was quite a good first run, 6.15. Do you think we're going to beat the Civic? I don't know. I don't think we are. We'll try. We'll definitely try. I'll let you know in a bit.
A few moments later.
Now, I don't know if I included the clip where I done a second run. Well, I actually didn't film it, but then I filmed my reaction almost. But this is the end of the second run, basically. I wasn't filming, I just done run number 2. Cut, I'm gonna cut that, man. I need to do 3 runs. I need to do a third one, but run number 2, I didn't film it annoyingly. I have got the report down here. It was good. Let's do a third one. So you can see from that reaction that I am impressed with run number 2. Now run number 3, I've done that and all 3 runs were verified, and I can tell you that run number 3 was not the fastest run of the lot, all right? Run number 2 was. Now run number 1, you already know what we've done run number 1 in. We've done 20 to 70 miles an hour in 6.15 seconds. That's a really good time, but I really wanted to beat the Civic Type R. So although I was quite pleased and proud of that result, it's just not really what I wanted to see. So the next 2 runs, because we always do 3 runs on this channel, the second run, the fastest run of the lot, we're trying to beat 5.82 seconds, yeah? We've done 20 to 70 miles an hour in 5.80 seconds. 5.80. So that literally puts this just above the Civic Type R, which I am so, do you know what, I say I'm pleased about. If I was sat in the driver's seat of a Type R now, I'd be proud of that car, but I am quite proud that a Hyundai has managed to step onto the car market, make the stamp on the car world that it has, and it's proven to be quicker from 20 to 70 miles an hour, which is really significant on this channel than an FK2 Civic Type R. I am really pleased with that, and I would say actually the retail value of that Type R is probably about the same as this would be if it was a HPI clear car. So all in all, I am pleased with this car. Obviously it is tuned, yeah, so we're comparing a tuned car to a non-tuned car, but then they are still the same bloody horsepower, so I think that's quite a fair shout. Either way, I am really pleased with how this car's performed. I love it, I love the way it drives. I am going to be daily driving it. Now I say that, I'm not going to be daily driving it because it's got to go and get the boot floor replaced. I wanted to film this video before I'd done, that mic is definitely on it, yes it is. I wanted to film this video before I send it off to the body shop to get the boot floor done. Obviously I've got to get that done before we can give it away, but if you've not entered for your chance to win this car yet, I will link it in the description below. The winner of the car will be announced on that date, providing we can get the boot floor done in time. You can enter for free or hit boost and get multiple entries for as little as 50p an entry. It's entirely up to you, just make sure you get your free entry at least. Also, go and play the game on Planet Dreams. It's really cool, it's quite addictive, and you can earn yourself entries to all sorts of prizes across the whole website as well, all right? I think that's everything. I think I've covered everything. I was just really keen to do the first drive in it. I'm currently in Leighton Buzzard, by the way, on my way home, and I just thought I'd wrap this video up on my journey home. Yeah. Is that everything? Yeah, that is everything. What I do want to say is I will do a follow-up video of when we're getting the boot floor replaced. I think that's going to make quite an interesting video, and I will conclude in that video what my final thoughts are of this car, because as I drive it over the coming weeks, I'm sure I'll discover more, I'll learn more, and I'll have maybe a different feeling on how I feel about this car, a different opinion on how I feel about this car. So that will get filmed. And that is everything, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did like this video, do me a favour, hit like, yeah? I appreciate you lot, and your way of showing me that you appreciate me is just hit the bloody like button. Yeah, I'll make all these wonderful videos for you. You enjoy them, just hit like. It's easy, just hit that like button. Hit subscribe as well if you're new, if you want to see a bit more content on this car and other cars that I've got coming into stock along the way. And if you're on Instagram, give me a follow on Instagram at Calvin's Car Diary. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.